I had a problem with my hair. I'm on medicines right now, like making sure my hair stays on.
Finasteride, Propecia.
Yeah, like all
Same.
the
What are you talking about? I started doing those at like 27.
If you have been thinking that handsome, very good looking guys, actors, or models had been given the best possible looks in the world and never had to worry about hair loss, you could not be further from the truth. Now, let's listen to a podcast clip with Chico Lachowski and Sean O'Pry where they discuss hair loss topics. Both of these men are well known in the male modeling industry.
the myth that creatine makes you lose your hair.
No, still there. I'm 34 and I'm happy it's still there. So
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying this guy as long as he's there.
Yeah, you're lucky
It's
though. I had a problem with my hair. I'm on medicines right now, like making sure my hair stays on.
Finasteride, Propecia.
Yeah, like all
Same.
the
What are you talking about? I started doing those at like 27. They're preemptive. If you start them earlier than later, you won't have that issue. Or at least you
Yeah.
get a longer span of time with it. If you start it when you've already noticed you're losing, it's too late.
It's not age prevention, it's age delay.
Exactly. That's the thing, because it's still going to go. You're still, that's still going to be gone. But you can get another 5-10 years out of it.
yeah.
Now, the statement to get another 5 to 10 years out of your hair with finasteride, we could consider it factually correct. Why? Because we have two 10-year studies done on finasteride, one in early 2000 and another one in 2009 from 2019. One is from Italy and another one is from Japan. The Italian one is done on 118 men and the Japanese one on 523 men. Both will be linked in the description below so you can check them out later. So what was the result of those studies? To sum it up, the Italian one realized that finasteride worked better on the crown even after 10 years compared to the front. It observed that finasteride was well tolerated in general, and by only 14% of men the situation has been worsened after 10 years, which is pretty good. And yes, some guys even got side effects, precisely 5.9%, so 7 out of 118 patients. Now, the other long-term 10-year study on finasteride done in Japan from 2009 until 2019 on 523 Japanese men, they developed a special scale, MGPA, which is called Modified Global Photographic Assessment Score. So essentially all guys started at 4, as you see here, and on the x-axis we can see years from 0 to 10. On the y-axis we can see the score getting even better or worse over time. So they all started on 4, and we can see that during the first year and 2 we see the steepest increase in the score, which means the steepest, the best improvement, the most rapid improvement. And then after a year 2, between a year 1 and 2, it starts to flatten more and more. So any additional increase in that score per year was smaller and smaller. Now, the biggest differences, however, were by higher Norwood. So on the right, we can see Norwood 1 with blue until Norwood 7 with like light pink color. So we can see that Norwood 1s and 2s and 3s even were able to benefit over the long run the most. As Sean has said, the earlier you start, the better, because then the improvements you will be getting over time are gonna be better, and you can just maximize the improvements you get from finasteride in the long run if you start as a low Norwood compared to if you start as a high Norwood. So if you start as a high Norwood, number 6 and 7, well, you will get some benefits in the first year. If you are a higher Norwood, after already 1 or 2 years, the progress from finasteride starts to not fade, but you don't get anything more from it. It is doing its job, and as the first study from Italy has explained, that unlike with other medications, finasteride is the one that has been working, and its efficacy had remained the same even after 10 years, which is something we are not observing with every medication, right? So people get resistant to certain medications and then they need to replace those, or they need to start or add something new, which is not being observed with finasteride. As you see right there, no matter if you are 6'4" or 5'3", and regardless of your facial aesthetics, once hair loss reaper knocks at your door, everybody of us will feel the same inside. Either you decide to be in denial, number 2, you start to play the victim mindset. And number 3, you get proactive. And what did those guys do? They get proactive. Unfortunately, I see so many men out there, including the clients during my one-on-one consultation where I provide non-medical hair loss and hair transplant related help. I see guys who just keep losing their hair until it's too late. Even if they get on finasteride and minoxidil, they probably won't save that hair anymore and they will just need to resort to surgical option like hair transplant. So once it becomes obvious that you are losing your hair, I suggest you to check out other videos on my channel because they are very helpful and they helped already hundreds of thousands of men. They help them deal with their hair loss, get on that proactive path right from the start. So make sure you check out the video about the first signs of hair loss if you haven't watched it yet as the next one. And I'm going to be seeing you there.